Some of the most powerful business strategies out there don't come from some high-level boardroom meeting. Nope, they actually grow from the ground up, starting with really simple foundational ideas that pretty much anyone can use. Today, we're going to explore exactly that, how tiny, consistent actions can power absolutely massive growth.
Just think about that for a second. Seriously, what if the real secret to transformation wasn't some huge, disruptive overhaul, but just a whole series of small, consistent improvements? That one question, as simple as it sounds, is the core idea we're digging into today.
So to get started, we have to talk about the enemy. Every organization, whether it's a giant global corporation or just your local coffee shop, faces this one common enemy, and it's sneaky. It's this invisible force that quietly drains resources, time, and efficiency, a lot of times without anyone even noticing it's there.
Well, the Japanese have a perfect word for this enemy: muda. Muda is literally anything that eats up resources but adds zero value to the customer. Think about it: making too much product that just sits there, an employee wasting motion walking all the way across a workshop for a tool, delays just waiting for a part to arrive, or even defective products that have to get tossed out. All of that, that's muda. That's waste.
Okay, so how in the world do you fight something as big and as pervasive as waste? Well, it's not with a one-time fix. You fight it with a deep, guiding philosophy, one that's designed to systematically hunt down waste and get rid of it every single day.
And that philosophy is called Kaizen. If you break down the word, Kai means change, and Zen means good. So, good change. But this is not a project with a start and an end date. Not at all. It's a whole cultural mindset of continuous improvement. And the key is that it involves everybody in the organization, from the CEO right down to the person on the front lines.
At its heart, Kaizen is really a whole new way of thinking. It's about completely letting go of that dangerous phrase, well, this is how we've always done it. Instead, it pushes you to be proactive, to constantly challenge the status quo, and to dig deep by asking why over and over again until you find the real root cause of a problem. It's just a relentless pursuit of better.
But here's the catch. You can't build this amazing culture of continuous improvement on a foundation of pure chaos. It just doesn't work. Before you can start optimizing a process, you have to bring some order to the environment itself. And that is where a really powerful, practical tool comes into play. The best way to think about it is like building a house. You wouldn't just start throwing up walls on some messy, uncleared piece of land, right? Of course not. First, you've got to clear all the debris and lay a solid, level foundation. And for Kaizen, that foundation is a methodology known as 5S.
So this is it, the 5S framework. It's a systematic 5-step method for creating a truly organized and efficient workplace. Each of these steps, named after a Japanese word that starts with S, builds on the one before it, guiding you from total chaos to absolute clarity. Let's see how this actually works.
First up is seiri, which means sort. And this is the ruthless decluttering phase. I mean it, you go through every single item in a workspace and you ask one simple question. Is this absolutely essential for the job? If the answer is no, it's gotta go. This frees up so much physical and mental space by just getting rid of all the distractions.
Next, we have seitan, or set in order. Now that you only have the essential items left, you give every single one a specific, logical home. The principle here is simple: a place for everything and everything in its place. And the goal? Pure efficiency. Anyone, even someone new, should be able to find any tool or any document in less than 30 seconds. Third is seiso, or shine. Now, this is about way more than just appearances. This is where cleaning actually becomes a form of inspection. Think about it. When you're wiping down a machine every day, you're not just tidying up. You're actively looking for tiny problems, like a small oil leak, a loose bolt, a frayed wire, things you can fix before they become huge, catastrophic failures. It basically turns every employee into a proactive maintenance detective. Okay, fourth is seketsu, or standardized. This is the step that locks in all the progress you made in the first 3 S's. Here, you create simple, visual rules that make the new standards almost impossible to ignore. We're talking about things like outlines on the floor showing exactly where a cart belongs, or color-coded tools for specific tasks. It just makes doing the right thing the easiest thing to do.
And finally, we have what is honestly the most challenging step, shitsuke, or sustain. This is all about discipline. It's about turning all these actions into deeply ingrained habits. This is the step that transforms 5S from just a one-time spring cleaning project into the permanent culture of the workplace, making sure you never slide back into that old chaos.
So once you've got this clean, organized, standardized foundation, what happens next? This is where it all comes together. See, 5S isn't the final destination. It's the engine that powers that perpetual cycle of Kaizen we talked about.
With an organized 5S workplace, you finally have the stability you need to run powerful, continuous improvement cycles like PDCA. That's plan, do, check, act. You can spot a problem, plan a small change to fix it, implement it, check the results, and then act on what you've learned. Trying to do this in a chaotic environment is nearly impossible, but it absolutely thrives on the order that 5S creates.
And the payoff for all this work, it's enormous. When you actually combine that Kaizen philosophy with the practical 5S framework, the results just speak for themselves. You see these dramatic improvements in productivity, you see waste and costs go way down, and you get better product quality. But just as important, you create a safer, more enjoyable place to work, which naturally leads to way higher employee morale and job satisfaction. It's a win-win.
And ultimately, the philosophy of Kaizen isn't really just about processes or systems. As this famous quote from Gandhi suggests, it starts with the individual. It's a personal commitment to take responsibility and to be an active part of making things better, one small, tiny step at a time. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget about trying to transform your entire company or your whole life overnight. That's overwhelming. Instead, based on everything we've just talked about, what is one small, simple improvement you can make today?